The only negative I can say about this movie. Kamenari no Kokyu, Ichi no Katana, Yakiraki Isen, Shinsoku! Ha! Respectfully, right? I love all the Hashiras, but what's her name? Shinobu?
Shinobu, yeah.
Shinobu, listen, respect her. She went out like a champ. She gave it her all. But I feel like the start of the movie, it was very choppy-ish, if that makes sense. Like after the fight with Shinobu and Domu's his name, right? Doma, my bad. Doma. I felt like they started getting in their bag with the backstories, mixing with the action. I felt like every fight, her fight, and then Zenitsu's fight, and then Tanjiro and Gyu's fight, like each fight kept getting better with the direction, the animation, how to blend in the backstories with the fights. Each fight literally got better. So she's just a victim of circumstance, being the first fight, the intro of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't that invested in that. But after that, this movie was a great movie. It was a great movie.
It was elite. It's the elite of the elite. It's creme de la creme. 10 out of 10. I can't say anything better about this movie. Well, 9 out of 10 in my opinion. Yeah, overall, 9 out of 10. I'm just... my live reaction to this was that, bro. I got my money's worth. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay them again. I'm going to go watch the movie again so I can pay them again so that this movie gets more funds. Because, honestly, like, I'll say this much about the Shinobu thing. I like the Shinobu backstory. I love the Shinobu backstory. And I love the way that her story and her fight's conclusion sets us up for the rest of like what's going on between Akaza and like whatchamacallit, Zenitsu and Kaigaku, and like I think it's a great start to set the tone of like, yo, this shit is real, bro. Like people gonna die. Like
yeah,
there's just real demons out here, you know what I'm saying?
Like this was, don't get me wrong, this movie was the Gyu, Tanjiro, and Akaza fight was personally my favorite fight in the entire Demon Slayer series. Like the way they handled that fight, it felt like that fight was half the movie.
Yeah,
that's how good that even the backstory. At one point we had like a 15-20 minute backstory at the end.
That was amazing.
Everything tied in perfectly, right? But I'm not gonna lie, the Zenitsu fight was great. He was aura farming like an MFer. But I felt like the end of the fight with his attack was kind of a letdown.
No,
like
I disagree. I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree.
I don't know. The fight was great.
Yeah.
But his God lightning attack at the end, obviously spoiler alert if you guys didn't notice already. But his last attack when he went up and the guy didn't even notice. I don't know. I just felt like they could have handled that better animation-wise.
I don't think that they could have done a better job. I think that was a masterful sequence. I think the ending and the abruptness of it and how quickly it happened, because no one was expecting the fight to end in an instant like that. I think that's such a good representation of lightning breathing, and it's how things are supposed to be done in an instant, quickly, and a big bang attack, and boom. Not only that, the conclusion of him falling and Kaigaku not being able to accept it, and then he's saying, at least I'll win because we'll die together, and at least I'll win because we'll die together, and my boy, I forget his name, the demon, Tamayo student, the one that worships Tamayo. That kid that pulls up and looks him in the eye and says nothing's more pathetic than somebody who thinks he's gonna die with someone else. And
wait, but you don't think they could have done a bit more with the Zenitsu fight? You don't think they could have just added an extra couple minutes to that fight?
Anything that they added would have been original content. Like,
yeah, you don't think they could have done that?
Well, they could have, but
that's the whole point of having the movie.
I don't think that it would elevate or make it less good if they added more. I think that what they did was the perfect adaptation.
I feel like because I'm biased, because Zenitsu is one of my favorite characters.
Mine too, man. Like,
so I felt like, because obviously reread the manga, so we know kind of what happens, and this is like his big moment to end the story, like his main big moment to end the story. And I just felt like since it's his last like solo one-on-one fight, I felt like they could have just added a bit more original content before he does his ultimate attack. Just give us a bit more. Because it's a movie. Bro, this movie felt like a 3-hour movie.
Bro, it was long enough as
so why don't we just cut Shinobu, like,
no,
why don't we just cut some of
You're
that
violating.
and give it to Zenitsu?
You're violating. Every character got what they deserved. Everyone got shown their flowers. And, like, Zenitsu, like, bro, I will say this much. Zenitsu's might have had the same amount of impact overall as, like, the Akaza fight. Even though Akaza fight is my favorite. I'll say this much. Throughout the movie, I was only ever gagged and, like tearing up at Zenitsu's part. Like, I was genuinely on the brink of tears, like, when he was on the river, like, talking to his grandpa. I was choked up. I was like, bro, I got my boy here. I can't shed no tears. I'm fighting the tears. I'm watching him, and he says, I'm sorry, grandpa. And I'm like, nigga, I don't got nothing to be sorry for, man.
No, but
my pride and joy hit me like,
I agree. They did great, like, how they handled the fight, the ending of the fight. I just feel like they could have done more with this. Because he's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Everyone that watches anime, it's like My Hero Academia. Every time you see Endeavor, you know they're gonna go extra hard with Endeavor. I feel like Zenitsu every season, when it's Zenitsu, like, they just give him a little extra something, right? So I just felt like, because, especially it's the first movie, it's like his big scene. They previewed it at the end of season, what was it, 3 or 4? Whatever, the ending of the anime, when he got that letter and then he started aura forming from there. I just felt like in the movie they were gonna, because that's what animes do. Like, that's why JJK is so popular now, because they add so much original content in the fights that make it work. So I'm not complaining that much. I feel like overall it was a great fight. I just felt like it could have been at another level.
You know what I think you feel like that? Because I feel like Zenitsu's part felt like the shortest out of everyone's parts.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah, in terms of pure peak, like, action, fiction, like, all of that, the Akaza fight is the climax of that. That was the best climax I've watched in a long time. Bro, that was off the rails. And that's my favorite fight in all of the manga. I like it more than what's to come.
Do you agree with me? Forget the manga, just in the anime, in terms of the Demon Slayer anime, would you say that's the best fight?
Oh,
I think that's the best fight.
Between that and Red Light District, it would be Akaza. Yeah, this is the best fight.
Yeah, this
is
fight
the best fight.
Crazy.
This fight was absolutely off the rails. Because they're just moving all around the Infinity Castle, the changes of scenery, the locking in from Giyu, the locking in from Tanjiro.
When Giyu got the mark,
bro, that was so peak. That was so peak. Bro. And then even after a while, even after you're so hyped to have the mark and he's putting in all this pain and all this power, that slow realization that Giyu's still taking all this damage and Akaza's fighting like he was in the beginning, it's kind of like a daunting feeling, like, holy crap, how are we gonna beat this guy?
Yeah,
he's invincible.
And that's what made the movie really good.
Yeah,
it's because they really dragged this whole fight, like the way Akaza just wouldn't go down.
He would not go down.
This guy lost the fight like 5 times.
Yeah, you know,
right?
It was something else.
But he wouldn't go down. But it's just that
He's easily my favorite demon. Out of all the demons, though.
I feel like that's Demon Slayer's strength. It's like, you would think it would be a weakness of the show because it's predictable. They fight the demon, they beat the demon. As they're beating the demon gets flashbacks. But something about Demon Slayer, we know that it's coming. But the way they handle all the demons' backstories, it just always hits. I don't know what it is.
And I think Akaza has by far and away the best backstory of any demon in the whole show. Even in the manga, when I was watching it, I said, when I was reading it, I said, oh my god, this guy, man.
That was a really good.
I rock with this guy, man. This is what a real man looks like, bro. And the fact that he blames himself for stuff that was out of his control. Like, I know he says he couldn't protect, like, Kyuko, I think her name was, and the sensei, even his father.
Yeah.
But, like, he can't stop poison. Like, you know, he's shouldering the burden of, like, he would have got poisoned too and died.
You know what killed me in the movie?
What?
When he's like having the flashbacks and then he's talking to one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like hallucinating whatever as he's dying. And they're like, yo, man, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what the hell?
Yo, even the sensei was like, I'm sorry, I can't take you.
Yeah, you're going to hell, bro. Like you're a real one, though, but you're going, like, yo, goddamn.
Yo, bro, you know what's crazy? Because I was having, like, a philosophical debate in my mind of, like, yeah, but he lost all his memories. He became a demon. He was a good guy before that. But then it hit me like, yo, he did kill 67 niggas, though. He killed.
Yeah. That was his last act as a human.
His last act as a human, he killed 67 niggas. So I actually don't know what's gonna happen to him. He probably is going to hell. But shit, if I was in his shoes, I probably, and that's the requirement for going to hell, I'd probably go to hell too.
Yeah, and
I'm killing those 67 niggas.
And what solidified that this was a great movie? Let us know your experience in the theater. But I'm a very picky theater guy. Like when I go to the movies, like everyone shut up. If anybody's talking, I might even kick their chair. Stop talking, right? But this is the only time in the history of me going to the theater where, like, every big scene, you had people in the theater screaming their commentary.
People applauding.
And I didn't even give a damn.
Yeah, but it was
I didn't care.
It just elevated the experience. The fact that other people are this passionate and, like, I don't know, there's just something in the air with Demon Slayer where it's like, yo, it's all worth the hype. Like, yo, say whatever you want, man. And that reminds me of what the after the Akaza fight, there's a crow that screams. And it sounded like there was someone behind us that actually screamed. And I don't know what let us know if that was like exclusively our theater or if they did that for every theater where the crow comes and it sounds like somebody screamed behind you. It's like It was weird, bro. It was crazy, but yeah, I think they did an amazing job. All in all, 9 out of 10 movie.
I feel like 9 is too high though.
9 is perfect.
Nah, 9 is too high.
Considering what they had to adapt, how much they had to adapt, how they fit into the movie, and how they progressed it, how they like followed the format of like this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the climax, and then we're gonna tell you off into the end and set you up for the movie in the next part. I don't think they could have done that any more flawlessly than they did. They set us up for a movie perfectly. They set up Kokushibo, they set up Doma, they set up Muzan at the very end, telling him he's gonna kill everybody. Like he just needs time. Like I think it's a great setup for the next movie. I think that the action, the storyline was very flawless. Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10, man. I don't think you can say much better for it.
I feel like a 9 is too, just because I feel like the beginning was just, not that it was bad, it was just awkward-ish. Zenitsu fight was great. I don't know. It just feels like the Akaza Tanjiro fight really carried that movie.
Yeah.
Like those fights were great fights, but it really does feel like the Tanjiro Gyu fight carried that movie. Because that fight felt like half the movie.
So another thing I forgot to give it credit for was the way they weaved in comedy. The way they weaved in comedy was especially immaculate. They did an amazing job of weaving in comedy with the seriousness, with the action, and it all flowed so seamlessly.
Yeah, especially when he was about to get Akaza and then he announces himself.
Yeah,
and that was like, bro, why the hell are you telling me?
Bro, I'm telling you, the way they weaved everything in was so seamless and perfect. Yeah. I can't give this movie anything less than a 9. I can't give this movie anything less than 4 stars out of 5.
Because if this is a 9, what is the Chainsaw Man movie gonna be?
It's gonna be a 10.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like those, those stingy food guys on
TikTok.
It's
8.3 point.
Yeah, that's what we have to do with. That's what we have to do with movies. Like
you can do that. I'm not doing that.
Because if you're giving this a 9, then like most movies you watch that are amazing, you're gonna have to give a 9. Like we need to have a hierarchy with movie tiers. Like this was a really good movie, but 9 is too high, bro. 9 is like
how many anime movies can you name better than this? There's no One Piece movie that's better than this. There's no Naruto movie that's better than this. There's no Bleach movie better than this.
But those are all like filler movies. They're not like canon manga movies.
They're not. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So like name canon manga. There's not a lot of canon manga movies.
I don't watch Studio Ghibli, so I can't.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Studio Ghibli movie ever, so I can't really say, but
like this was really good, but I feel like 9 is too high.
Okay.
But you could, if it's a 9, you can say it's a 9.
I know what you mean.
But I just feel like you have to be a bit bougie with your. I feel like with like rating stuff, you have to be bougie with it.
I'm gonna give it a 9, man. I'm standing on that. I'm thinking back to how I felt leaving that theater, how I felt watching the movie, for my moments of like laughing, to my moments of like being like choked up, to me being absolutely enthralled in the action. I don't think this is peak movie material. This is amazing. Yeah, I give it a 9.
In terms of like an anime experience, you had everything there. You had the animation, you had the storyline.
Everything was stunning.
You had the aura farming. You had the people in the theater screaming during scenes, like acting like we're not in a movie theater, but nobody's mad because we're all dweebs in the theater. So it's like it was a really good experience.
And the thing is that it lived up to the hype. Because I remember when One Piece Red was coming out, and you had like French fans and all these fans that got it early, screaming in the theater, taking their shirts off. And then when I finally got in the theater, Like, it was still a good movie, but like, it was not to be going crazy over.
That movie was fire.
It was good. It was alright. Like, it was soft. I love One Piece more than anybody else.
I love One Piece,
and I think it was good. It was what it was, I guess, sold as, but the hype sold it differently. I was not expecting a musical. I fell for the hype.
I love a musical.
I'm not a musical guy.
I love a musical.
I haven't liked musicals since High School Musicals. It's Troy Bolton and them guys. So like, that was it for me. You know, like I'll agree that I'm not into the Camp Rock stuff no more. I want to watch Luffy. Like, I want to watch Luffy like the way Luffy was in Stampede. I don't know if you watched Stampede, but Stampede, that is a real One Piece movie. That is them fighting one of
Is that the one where they're fighting the giant?
They're fighting that guy Bullet. He used to be on the Rogers crew.
Yeah, I think I watched that. But yeah, back to Demon Slayer.
Oh, back to Demon Slayer. We got off track. Yeah.
That's a review. We both really enjoyed the movie, but what do you guys think of the movie? Let us know down below. Was it overhyped? Was it just what you expected? Was it more than you expected? Let us know down in the comments. Catch you on the next one.
Hino Kami Kagura! Actual movie. Just do it like an actual movie. You're amused.
Alright, let me see. I haven't even done my most powerful attack. Bankai!
That was so ass! Oh my god!